They came like a storm from the sea twice. The Mongol tide, a threat unlike any Japan had ever faced. Against all odds, against the fury of the elements and the desperate courage of its warriors, Japan endured. But the cost of that survival would prove almost as devastating as defeat itself. This is the somber tale of a victory that sowed the seeds of ruin. The unpaid debt of war. The samurai fought with legendary ferocity, defending their homeland. They stood on the beaches, blades against the storm, driven by loyalty to their lords and the Kamakura Shogunate. They expected the ancient contract, service in battle, rewarded with land and status. But the enemy brought no land to conquer, no rich cities to plunder. The victory was defensive, a desperate holding action. The shogunate, having poured its treasury into coastal defenses and endless campaigns, found itself bankrupt. The crumbling foundation. The warriors returned, not with spoils, but with wounds and empty hands. There was no land to grant, no wealth to distribute. The fundamental promise that bound the samurai to their rulers was broken. A deep, corrosive disillusionment spread through the warrior class. Loyalty, once the bedrock of the shogunate, began to erode. Why pledge life and limb again for a government that could not uphold its end of the bargain? The value of a victory. This wasn't a clan war. There were no enemy lands to seize, no castles to divide. And when the rewards were given, they were distributed not based on loyalty, but on measurable battlefield achievements. The samurai who bled without recognition, who returned with scars instead of silver, began to see the truth. They were not fighting for honor. They were fighting for someone else's survival, and they were expendable, seeds of rebellion. Trust withered, replaced by resentment and a sense of betrayal. The shogunate, built on the strength and loyalty of its samurai, now faced their quiet, simmering anger. This internal rot was a far greater threat than any foreign invasion. The stage was set for upheaval. When Emperor Go-Daigo sought to reclaim imperial power, he found fertile ground for rebellion not among the commoners, but within the ranks of the disaffected samurai themselves. The shogunate's own defenders became its potential destroyers. The irony of survival. They had saved Japan from the Mongols, a feat of immense historical significance. Yet, in doing so, the Kamakura Shogunate spent its legitimacy and its wealth. The external threat was vanquished, but the internal structure, the very foundation of warrior loyalty, fractured beyond repair. This period marks a dramatic turning point. The shogunate's inability to reward its warriors after the Mongol invasions directly led to the loss of samurai support, paving the way for its eventual overthrow and plunging Japan into a new era of conflict. Explore the aftermath. The fall of Kamakura is a complex, dramatic story of broken promises and shifting power. To truly understand the samurai's world and the turbulent path to Japan's future, delve deeper into the Kenmu restoration and the figures who rose from the ashes of the shogunate's bitter victory. Discover how loyalty, land, and leadership reshaped the warrior class forever. They fought. They won. But they came home to nothing. No land. No gold. Not even a thank you. Just like today, some still fight every day. Telling stories. Building worlds. Holding on. Without a reward. Maybe some wars haven't changed at all. If you're still fighting, I see you.